Hello grade 8s and welcome to Linear Functions 3, our last topic that we need to cover in this unit on functions and line graphs. In this micro lesson, we have two objectives. The first is to draw a linear function by choosing our own values for input. And second, we're going to start working with linear functions that decrease as well as increase. Let's say on a test or other form of assessment, you get a question that just states this. Draw the graph of y equals negative 2x plus 3 on a Cartesian coordinate system. For some of you, panic would set in because you don't know where to begin. In the past, I've always given you values of x. But the good news is going forward through grade 12, you always can choose your own values, and you'll also learn other shortcuts to help you draw graphs faster. So the best strategy here is to choose 3 values. Often I'll ask you to plot with 5 values, but 3 values are enough to make sure we're not making any mistakes and our graph will look okay. Please always choose one negative number, a positive number, and 0. Now, in every class, we have students that like to show off, and they might say, okay, I'm going to choose 1,000, and it will be negative, and negative 200,000, and 0. That's not a very good idea. When you choose these numbers, choose the very basics. And me, because I'm old and boring, just like my boring maths videos, I'm going to choose really easy numbers. I'm going to choose -1, 0, and 1 most of the time. Sometimes I might choose -2 and 2, but always choose small numbers because it's a lot harder to make a mistake. One more time to recap, because it can be slightly terrifying. When you're told to draw the graph, you get to choose your own values. If you're a nervous person, you can choose Mr. Horn's values most of the time of -1, 0, and 1. So now we're ready to try to draw this graph. If you want, pause the video at this point and see if you can get the final answer. Alternatively, pause it anywhere along the way and see if you can work out the final answer. There are 3 steps to our success. The first was to choose the values. Remember to always put these values in order. And if you're an organized student, I would do it right away by putting it into the table. These are the x values I'm going to put in to my equation or my function that is sitting over here to try to get y value. So here we go. My first value for x is -1, and it's going to get put in for x. Be sure you don't make a little mistake, but make sure it's a -1. And remember this relationship here, if you're still confused, is multiplication. So it's going to be -2 times -1. And when you multiply those 2 negatives together, we get a +2. And if I do my maths correctly, I'm going to discover that y equals 5. Remember, that occurs when x is equal to -1. And I can put it into my table over here. When x is -1, the output, or the y value, will be 5. Work out the values for 0 and 1 and see if your table matches mine. Okay, if you put 0 in for x, you should get 3 as your output. And if you put 1 in for x, you should have got 1 as your output. So now I have 3 coordinates which I can draw on my coordinate axes. Remember again, whenever you see the words Cartesian coordinate system, it means that you need to draw a system where we plot things on a graph that looks like this. It's always really, really important as well, because we're learning this for the first time, to label our axes so we remember where our y's and x's are, and also where our negative values are in both directions. Finally, we need to number off. We don't have big numbers in this graph. Our biggest number is 5, so we just want to number to at least 5. All right, I have drawn my graph again. This time as well, I chose to skip a line between my numbers. You don't have to do that, but when I teach, it just gives a little bit more space for the graph to happen. Notice as well that we basically already have the numbers in a coordinate form. And so we're going to go through this process very slowly one last time to make sure you understand how to draw or plot a graph. So, starting with the x, my first coordinate here is going to be -1 for x and 5 for y. So I'm going to go over here to where x is -1. So this is the x-axis, and I'm going over here to where x is -1. And then I have to go up to where y is equal to 5. And it's all the way up here in the sky because that's just the way the graph worked out when I drew it. So I'm going to draw a point up there at -1 and 5. The next one is also still a little bit troublesome for some of you. I'm going to go 0 in the x direction and then up 3. 0 in the x direction is right here at the origin, because that's 1 or -1 and 1. 0 is here in the middle. I'm going to go up to 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to be right there on the line, and I'm going to draw my second point. Finally, I'm going to go to where x is 1 and y is also 1. So I'm going to go over here to x being 1 and y, that's going to be 1, and draw my last coordinate. Now here you need to stop and check. Do my dots look like they're in a line? They should. If they don't, it means you probably made a mistake. So go back and just check your work to see, for example, if one of my dots was over here, I would know that's not right. I need to fix it. In this case, though, all of my dots are in a nice straight line, and I'm going to join that straight line together, remembering to put an arrow on each end, even though in this case it actually is going to cover up some of the points that I've drawn, and that is a perfect line. Now, you might notice, if you're good at observing things, that this line looks a little bit different than the other line that we drew in our previous lesson. If you look really carefully, you'll see if we read from left to right, this line is actually going down. Why do you think this line is going down when the line that we drew in our previous lesson wasn't going down? Well, think about it. The clue is right here. If you look carefully at the number in front of the x, in this case, it is negative. And a negative number likes to make things decrease, and that is why our line is going to decrease and go down. So one final check that you can make before you submit your work: whenever you've got a negative number in front of the x, make sure your line is going down. Whenever there's a positive number in front of the x, your line should be going up. And just make sure it's following those rules. That's all there is to it, grade 8s. This is an amazingly easy topic once you understand it. I think you're all going to master it brilliantly. Good luck. Talk soon.